Good evening. Every viable anti-war movement needs its tipping point, with no better example than Walter Cronkite telling the American people that the conflict in Vietnam would end at best in stalemate. It is too early to tell if the war in Iraq will have its own Cronkite, but in our fifth story on the countdown, this much is clear tonight. The delicate balancing act of first being for the war in Iraq and now against it is proving treacherous for many Democrats, among them former First Lady Hillary Clinton, one of 29 Democrats in the Senate who had voted for Iraq war resolutions in the fall of 2002, now trying to make amends of sorts, writing an open letter to her constituents in which she explains her current thinking on the war in Iraq, including her belief that we should still be there, but should not stay there indefinitely, and that she only voted for the use of force because of assurances from the White House that it would only be used as a last resort. The senator's letter reading in part, "From the start, I have been clear that I believe that the administration did not have an adequate plan for what lay ahead. I take responsibility for my vote, and I, along with a majority of Americans, expect the president and his administration to take responsibility for the false assurances, faulty evidence, and mismanagement of the war." It is the kind of centrist stance that appeases moderates, but really cheeses off many on the Democratic Party's left flank, especially a prominent one who once used the Academy Awards telecast as a platform to rail against a policy belonging to the era of the other Clinton, a policy which had barred HIV-positive Haitians from entering the United States. Actor Tim Robbins, one of Senator Clinton's New York constituents, today appearing on the Air America radio network's morning program, Morning Sedition, telling the host, Mark Maron, what he really thinks about Mrs. Clinton's open letter to him.
Unfortunately, I think that there's such a talk about the word political. It's kind of defined by this kind of one step forward, two steps back kind of approach. Hillary Clinton can kiss my butt. You know, it's just that's the ridiculous statements she's made about the war. First of all, supporting in the first place. Second of all, to kind of equivocate now. I mean, it's that kind of that terrible strategy the Democratic Party's had that's wound up in lost elections, lost Senate control, lost congressional control. You got to have a backbone. If you want people to vote for you, trust that someone will vote for you, even if they disagree with you on certain issues.
Stand for something.
Stand for something.
Thus does Hollywood butt kissing take on an entirely new meaning.